Well, a spectacular first kilometre time, 2:56.36, much quicker than the Olympic final, where Kieng went out in 3:05, Jebet rather, and she leads at the moment from Kieng. Jepkovic in third place, although these two beginning to get away. It is Kieng in second place, the world champion. Her steeplechase personal best, wait for it, is quicker than her 3 kilometre flat time, Kieng. Quite bizarre. She hasn't pursued flat personal bests at all. She's only run 15:42 for 5,000, but Jebet here is really attacking this, and if she can maintain this middle kilometre tempo, we could be onto something very special indeed here. The world record, remember, 8:58.81 by GULNARA at the Beijing Olympic Games over 8 years ago now. Kieng just feeding off the front-running Ruth Jebet of Bahrain, the Olympic champion.
There was a big gap between Kieng and Jebet in the Olympic Games, but Kieng desperate to hang on to her here. But look at that, there's a subtle increase of pace down that back straight and into the back straight by Jebet. How could she have such talent at 19? 8:59.75 she ran in the Olympic Games, and as many observers, and as Tim has already mentioned, that world record could well have been in her pocket on that occasion, and whether tonight it will be, and it could be. Certainly the conditions are perfect, the opposition is perfect, a world champion chasing you, but she likes to run this way, doesn't she?
Well, she comes into the straight now, and Kieng beginning to ease away. Jebet, I should say, easing away from Kieng in first and second. Jepkovic in third, being reeled in by the chasing group. Coburn in fourth place, leading that pack of some 6 athletes between fourth and ninth place. Jebet glancing up at the big screen regularly. As long as she hits 2 kilometres in around 6 minutes, the world record could still be on. Remember, 2:56 for that first kilometre. In Rio, her first kilometre was only a click inside 3:06, and she's easing away from Kieng now. The Olympic silver medalist seems beaten. If Ruth Jebet has really worked out her pacing here better than she did in Rio, I do believe something historic could be unfolding in front of us. Certainly, I felt that with the split she produced in Rio, she is capable of something a long way below 9 minutes, well inside the existing world record. 5:54, it's a 2:57, that is just about perfect. And at the moment, she could run about a 3:04 final kilometre and still break the world record. As Ruth Jebet, at the age of 19, the Asian Games champion in 2014, the Olympic champion this year, the first Olympic champion of Bahrain after Jamal's bronze in London, ran the fastest heat time ever in Rio. It looked extravagant with a 9:12, but then she just blasted that time by some 13 seconds come the final. 2 laps to run, and she's got about 2.5 minutes in which to do them to break the world record. Kieng running on bravely, but isolated now in second place. Has a gap behind her, Stuart, about 70 metres. Coburn back in third place, beginning to ease away from the pack.
But this is just a sensational piece of running, and she looks as though she's pushing on even better. The world record is certainly in danger here. It's looked like it on the 3 occasions I've seen her run, but certainly she's got away from the world champion and is now on her own, but she enjoys running on her own. She did that in Eugene, and of course in the final stages of that Olympic Games, that final, she went away. And unless something extraordinary happens now, we are on for a moment of steeplechase history.
Bizarrely, she's got no good times on the flat. 4:13 for 1500, 9:09 for the flat 3000. She's some 10 seconds quicker than that over the barriers. She's only run 32.5 minutes for 10k on the road, but she comes to the bell now. Does Ruth Jebet for Bahrain, 19 years of age, goes through in 7:43, and the world record is on. She can cover this lap in about 75 seconds and still break the world record. This was threatened in Rio, but remember that run in Rio came after an unnecessarily extravagant run in the heats where she ran 9:12. Here she goes. Each of these barriers, just get over them well. Memories of the men's steeplechase here in this stadium last year have to be banished from the minds of those who were present as she gets down the back straight with 250 to run, looking a little bit tired. That looked like a rather fatigue clearance of that barrier. She has one water jump to come. Ruth Jebet with 200 metres to run. 8:24 for Ruth Jebet, the world record from 2008. by Russia's GULNARA is living on borrowed time. That was 8:58.81. 50 metres to run for Ruth Jebet. Look at the clock. It's going to be an astonishing world record from this delightful former young Kenyan running for Bahrain. Crosses the line in 8:52 and opens up a new era in women's steeplechasing. The quality and depth has been improving markedly. 29 women under 9:30 this year is unprecedented. Well, now we have a young lady who's gone a long, long way under 9 minutes. And the Paris Diamond League meeting can be proud of what they have produced here. Great fields have assembled here in Paris on what we understand is an extraordinarily small budget for the meeting. There are rumours that they may be changing arena next year. But Ruth Jebet is not worried at all about the money, it would seem, because in Rio she could have been Olympic champion with a world record. She chose to save it, and the decision was right. Stuart, 8:52.82. It's a monstrous improvement on the figures of GULNARA. Almost exactly a 6-second improvement. 8:52.78, in fact, has come out. It is more than a 6-second improvement.
It was a magnificent race to begin with, against the clock finally, when those two first kilometers were putting her absolutely in line. 2:56, 2:57, perfect, 5:54, and then she had so much to give in that last 1,000 meters. Yes, she was tired, of course she was. One would expect that. And really, she worked so very, very hard and got the just reward. She's an Olympic champion at the age of 19, and now she is the world record holder, and taking away that long-standing world record, of course, that Tim has already reported on. Look at this, had to get clear, not a great hurdler, but let's not worry about that. This was pure demonstration in the end, pure desire to win and to break the world record, and she achieved all of that in this one race.
The judgment, Stuart, was absolutely supreme. 2:56.3 for that first kilometre, 2:57 for the second kilometre. And what about a 2:58 for that final kilometre? Kiyeng second in 9:01.96. That's a top time. Emma Coburn, well, pushing hard through the second half. Emma, forlorn chase for the two up in front of her, but finished in third place in 9:10.19. Another superb time from the American. And Beatrice Chepkoech setting a personal best in fourth, 9:10.86. And look at the times. Jen Lacaze in sixth place, 9:14.28, an Australian record, an area record indeed, with Madeline Hills on this occasion finding it one race too many, back in 12th place in 9:36. The Australians performed supremely in Rio, with making the finals in the steeplechase and the 5,000, personal best all round there for Lacaze and Hills. But tonight belongs to Ruth Jebet. There it is, 8:52.7.